Hey, this is Andrew from Precursor Productions, and in this video I'm going to talk about a large and potentially controversial question, which is it best for me to make my recording in a traditional studio, or can I get the best professional results using a modern digital studio? Now I guess first what we need to do is define what we're talking about here, because the word traditional studio could mean any number of things. But when I think of a traditional studio, I think of something that was usually a large studio with acoustically designed rooms, lots of equipment, usually large analog mixing boards, even if they're very sophisticated mixing boards, a large selection of microphones, a lot of professional outboard processors like preamplifiers, compressors, etc. Something that is an expensive studio that's staffed with a number of different people, and it's kind of a big deal to go in there and record. Now when I talk about a digital studio, I'm talking about something that can be very minimalistic, almost intimidatingly minimalistic. Could just be a laptop, a basic audio interface, maybe just 2 or 3 microphones, in some cases maybe even just 1. More domestic type rooms to record in. I mean, they might be acoustically treated, they might be specially set up for the recording, but often they're just jam spaces, home bedrooms, attics, basements, any kind of room that you can adapt guerrilla style to a recording. So I think that the obvious thing that people think of course it's nicer to go into a full professional studio. It feels right, it's an exciting experience. And of course you have a staff of professionals who can all attend to my needs. I'm not going to disagree with that. I think that's traditionally been part of the real exciting event of going into the studio as an artist and get your recording made. But I think really at the end of the day, we have to be a little bit more pragmatic and have a practical question. And that is, given all of the really easy to use and powerful digital tools out there, is it actually possible to get a professional sounding recording? And is it maybe even in some cases a better way to get a better recording? I think the reality is that we are far enough into the usage of these tools. I mean, most of these digital tools, which is a computer with studio-based software, with an audio interface, with relatively inexpensive microphones, and the ability to inexpensively, guerrilla-style, acoustically treat a domestic or jam space to make a good recording. We are now over 10 years into the process where this can be done in the modern way and can be done with really professional results. And I think that now there are enough resources out there and enough inexpensive products for you to get access to, that not only is it possible to produce as professional a recording as in a large, expensive traditional studio, but I would actually argue that in most cases, it's actually a better way to work. Now, why would it be a better way to work? Well, A, it definitely reduces costs if you learn how to do this in a sort of efficient and optimal way. B, it actually allows you to have a little more input into the recording process because you are controlling part of the process. For example, you may make your own recordings but then hire someone professional to mix and master them. Or you might be involved in the recording, mixing, and even in the mastering process yourself. You get the opportunity to have a little bit more of your vision in the recording process. Now, I don't want to indicate that you shouldn't work with other professionals. In most cases, you're going to get your best result by collaborating with other musicians, collaborating with other people like mix engineers and mastering engineers, but you definitely can get more of a hand in the process with the way that digital tools work. So it reduces expense, it allows you to get more involved in the recording process, and of course, there are some very sophisticated techniques that we can use in very small amounts of time for a very small amount of money to enhance your recordings with digital tools that are simply not available in a traditional studio. Or, if they are available in a traditional studio, they involve so much time and expense that it's very, very unlikely that they'll be done in that type of an environment. So hopefully I've given you some insight into why we feel that digital recording is definitely not only current, but the way of the future, and the way that it can actually be a better way for many people to work than a traditional recording studio, which is a wonderful experience, but often is not the most realistic and efficient experience for our times. So if you'd like to learn more about how to get the most out of your experience in the studio, simply head over to precursorproductions.com and sign up for our email list. When you do that, I'm going to send you 20 videos that outline how to save time, money, and get the best product when you're working in the studio. I'm also going to offer you 10% off of any of our professional audio production services. So head over to precursorproductions.com, enter your name in our mailing list, and you'll start getting those videos and the discount immediately.